Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's college football week 10. This is Into the Weekend with BetDSI. We are talking with Brent, the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook. Brent, before we get into the games for week 10, let's just quickly touch on the ending to the Miami-Duke game last week. I mean, very controversial. Obviously, some people rightly would say that they got screwed. You guys don't reimburse people who feel like they got screwed by that ending, right?
The kind of worms you don't want to open, and obviously you have to respect, what the ruling is on the field at the time. And it's just like, even like the fighting is a good example too. Most fight sports, we have to go with the decision they announce in the ring on the night of the fight. Anything gets changed, to a no contest or whatever a week down the road, what do? Well, you're not going to go change the result, taking away money from people you paid and paying it to people that were losers. It's funny with last week because I think what's lost in it a lot, because you don't talk about it much in the mainstream media, is the total on that football game. Now the total on that game was 51, close 51 and a half. So 2-point convert gives you a push on that.
Right.
If you're on the under, maybe you were thinking you got screwed a little bit. Okay, you're going to take a push, and then boom at the end. So over bettors loved the end result, and under bettors obviously hated it. But it's interesting that it took that late touchdown and the 2-point convert just to sit it on 51. And then they run it back to blow it over.
So did that affect your decision at all, or was it not a big deal from your perspective?
Well, honestly, we had sharp action on Miami, Florida money line, and the over. So yeah, it was a big decision. Yeah.
Someone knew something then. Is that what you're implying here, Brent?
Whoa, I'm not implying anything.
Neither am I. All right, so let's get to college football week 10, Brent. The first game I want to ask you about, Florida State Clemson, right? Florida State, a double-digit underdog. That's a rare spot for them to be in. I'm guessing the public is all over Clemson here, despite Florida State being that big of a dog for the first time in a long time. Is the public betting on Clemson? And did the sharp action come in on Florida State as a big underdog?
Yeah, I don't actually have any sharp action involved in this game at all, but my wager count is actually quite heavily favoring Florida State. So it looks like I'm betting a lot of public money on Florida State. The public, of course, is betting the over as they usually do, but right now the count is it's almost like 4-1 if you're at Florida State, which is quite substantial. But it's all public money.
See, I remember in years past doing calls like this with you, Brent, and in college football, when the public really likes an underdog, whether there's sharp action or not, that usually indicates that the favorite has good value.
Well, we'll take a look and see how it shakes down. Now, again, we're doing the call on Thursday. What's going to happen between now and Saturday, who knows? But as of right now, yeah, it's all what we might call square money on Florida State, but I don't want to insult anyone.
All right, we will see how it turns out. Then I want to ask you about TCU and Oklahoma State. Marquee matchup here, of course. Oklahoma State, a home underdog. I'm guessing probably the public is leaning on TCU here. Sharp action on Oklahoma State. What can you tell us, Brent?
So here we got 2 8-0 teams. And Oklahoma State at home, and right now they're catching 4.5 points. Now, they're 4.5 now because early in the week we did have sharp action come on Oklahoma State. The public is heavily on TCU. My count there is at least 4-1, maybe a little bit higher. So I got lots of public money on TCU. The sharp action I did take on this game was the opening number got hit right away. Oklahoma State +6. The other sharp came in at +5.5, and we're down to 4.5 right now. Total 76.5, which is quite high, but I'm pretty, my count favors the over, which is normal with public betting the over in TCU games. But my money's not too bad at all, so I got some decent bets back on the under. But definitely what we'll call it, you nailed a public sharp split for probably the first time all year, and that I do have public action all on TCU, and sharp guys did grab Oklahoma State. Again, it was +6 the opening number they took, and also +5.5.
Okay, and then LSU, Alabama. I have to ask you about that game. My first thought is if there is any sharp action on this, you're going to tell us that it came in on the under early. And as far as the side is concerned, I got to assume public's leaning Alabama here.
Yeah, my count actually slightly favors LSU. I don't really have what we're gonna. Yeah, I don't have what we're called sharp guys on this game yet, like guys who are on a list. I do have a couple of pseudo sharp guys who are on this game, and both of them actually are on the same side. The first number was LSU +7.5, and then LSU +7. So we're down to Alabama -6.5 right now. My count, again, it just slightly favors LSU, nothing big at all. We're sitting at a total of 47, just the count actually favors the under, which is kind of strange. But I think there was like weather reports and stuff like that early in the week that had this total kind of circle. But as of right now, I don't have anything sharp involved. Specific sharp on either side or the total. People were betting the under. We're sitting at 47 right now. The line is on Alabama. It's down to 6.5 now, though, and it's because we took, again, the respectable money, pseudo sharp guys, plus 7.5 and plus 7 on the dog LSU.
We have a clear sharp public split with TCU, Oklahoma State, and the public favoring Florida State big time as a double-digit underdog. Very, very unusual to see that. Brent, what can you tell us about notable action from the rest of college football Week 10?
I can tell you, I got a lot of sharp action on Illinois, the first game on the board Saturday. Illinois at Purdue. They hit Illinois -2 and -3. Lines all the way up to 5 now. So Illinois -5 is the line right now. They're at Purdue. 2 and -3 were sharp plays on Illinois. I have Kansas and Texas total there, which was sharp on the under 55. I've got almost, I got a couple bets on the over, a couple little nibbles on the over, we'll call it, but nothing very sharp at all on the over there. But under 55 was sharp on the Kansas-Texas game. Going down to Utah and Washington, a couple solid defensive teams there. And as you can imagine, the sharps on the under there. Now they went under 47. So actually, I had like 47 and even like 45.5. But the first hit we took was under 47. So Utah at Washington. Washington's a 1.5 point favorite right now. But the total's down to 44. All sharp action on the under there. We touched on Oklahoma State. How about Navy? Navy at Memphis there. We got 6-1 Navy at Memphis. Memphis is 8-0. Let's talk about that. But the sharp action, I did get sharp action on that game on the dog Navy. So Navy +9 was sharp. Memphis as a home favorite is down to 8 right now. Another one, what we got? Hawaii. Hawaii on an 0-6 run at UNLV. Still the sharps did take Hawaii +10 there. Line's down to 9.5 and 9, kind of bouncing back and forth, but +10 was definitely sharp action there on Hawaii. And down to what I got here, Minnesota, Ohio State. I got sharp action on the over there as well. Over 50 was a sharp play. We're all the way up to 53.5 right now. So that line has moved quite a bit based on the sharp action. I haven't really got anything back on the under at all. It's interesting. Early in the year, Ohio State played having a whole ton of trouble scoring, but over 50 sharp here. We're up to 53.5 right now, Peter. One last sharp play was Eastern Michigan. Now, this is the game you really want to crack one open to watch because Eastern Michigan is at Miami of Ohio. Early action was a sharp play on Eastern Michigan +6.5. We're down to Miami, Ohio as a home favorite -4 now, so the line's dropped quite a bit. Now you got two teams who are 1-8, so that's one of them. You're gonna have to have a drink to watch and sit through this one. But Eastern Michigan +6.5 was sharp, Peter.
Always interesting to hear what you have to say, Brent. We'll talk to you again tomorrow for NFL Week 9.